I was on one. Like, I was tripping. What's up, y'all? It is Monday. It's the 27th and I'm getting stuff done around the house. I have the kids home today. The sleep schedule is off, so I didn't drop them off to after school or anything. Plus her after school is closed today, but they will be getting dropped off tomorrow, so I can really get some work done. Y'all, throughout this vlog will probably see my eyelashes look more and more like a naked mole rat because this one's just losing them, and she does not have an opening until 2 weeks from now. So that's the bad thing about this, and now I'm kind of regretting getting them. But whatever. I am starting the day off since yesterday. Typically on Sundays, I like to organize my home, get everything clean, which I did get a lot done yesterday. But I'm washing the sheets today, getting my actual room clean because my personal space, my room, like I was saying in the last vlog, is everything to me. My room is everything to me. This is where I create. This is where I meditate. This is where I pray. This is like everything. And I need it to be clean and organized so that I can think clearly. Because if I'm in a messy space, I realize that I'm feeling overwhelmed and I'm all over the place and I cannot concentrate. So that has to get done really quickly today. It's warm outside. I don't even care that the door is open. But I just stopped by the hair store because I do plan on doing my braids today. I have got to wash my hair. Otherwise, I fear that I'm going to be bald-headed. So that's going to be the project for today. Remember, y'all, I took the TV stand out of my living room so that I could force myself to move.
Hi.
Here, what are you trying to do?
Ride it.
You said untwisted. How is your bike twisted? It's 12:13. I don't really know how this vlog is going to go because I have my kids and my son's daycare today shut down. They have to go into quarantine, so they'll be closed all week, which means that I might as well keep my daughter here as well. So today's been hell, to say the least. Obviously, because we're all still up. I cannot get them to go to bed to save my life. You'll probably hear them fighting in the next room. But I just got to the point where I'm just like, just at least go to your room. At least go to your room. I locked myself in this bathroom just so that I can experience some type of peace and to be able to film this. But You guys might remember in the last vlog I said I was going to do some straight backs, so I'm really happy. I've been working on this for about 3 hours because I have my kids. I keep having to take breaks, but I like it. I just like it to look natural, like it's like it would be my hair, so they're kind of thin. What's taking me so long is the parting, but I think it's coming along pretty good. And I'm someone, like, I am not the fastest parter, and I'm very particular, so it's taking me about 15 minutes per part to get it right. So I'm hoping that I can get it done tomorrow. I have to log into work at 6:30, so obviously I've got to go to bed. I have got to go to bed. I'm not in the best headspace because I really could not get any work done because my kids are fighting, my kids are screaming, my kids are not listening, my kids are calling me 50 million times a day, and I don't know. So for you, whether you're a single parent or not, like, you can be a stay-at-home parent, like, you know, it's hell. And to be completely honest, like, I wish that people would have been more honest about motherhood, or they are more honest about motherhood. To me, in my opinion, just keeping it a buck, and it could be from the perspective of me being a single parent, like, it's about 60% hell and 40% enjoyable. Like, it's 100% rewarding, but I would say it's not a fun job, at least not right now in this stage. It's just not a fun job. It's super stressful, and you have to do what you have to do to keep your level of peace, whatever that looks like for you. And for me, it's like having times of silence. It's typically for me after they go to bed, but you know, with the holiday season and everything, I cannot get these kids to go to bed. I cannot get them to go to bed. I've been yelling at them for the past 2 hours to please just get into bed, to the point where I felt like I was losing my grip. And so I'm just like, whatever, YOLO. Just go in your room, because I'm trying to get done with this hair the best that I can. And I feel like that sums up my life. I'm doing the best that I can. I wanted to show you guys, we'll talk to you guys about how I plan to recover from Christmas shopping, but I will have to do that tomorrow, obviously. I'm about to, with the braids I do have done, put the foam setting lotion, wrapping lotion. I really hope I got the right thing, because I don't know. Foam wrapping lotion. I'm about to put my bonnet on, tie my edges up, and go to bed. My home is a wreck. I'm not even going to bother cleaning it. I just need to go to bed. And I will say, like, this right here, trying to save money by doing your own hair, like, it is not for the weak. But those last braids that were a bust that I did, it really helped me out, because now, like, with the first braid, I knew how to feed the hair in. So I feel like as I get better and I learn, like, how to perfect my technique, I'm gonna be braiding my hair all the time, and that's really gonna help me, because I can't get a silk press right now because I'm recovering from Christmas shopping. So we're just gonna have to make it do what it do when it comes to making your money stretch. You just gotta be a little creative, and that's totally me. I still have not made it out of that space, and I don't think I ever will, to be quite honest. That do what you gotta do, get creative with what you got right now type of headspace. I just don't ever see myself not being that person. And I haven't mastered the art of tucking my hair, so you can't really see it. It's not as bad, but I have a blunt cut, so it makes it hell trying to tuck these dang ends. But I'm hoping I will get a good week and a half out of this for sure. Alright guys, I'm about to go probably lose my shit some more. But try to get some sleep. I will have to get up at 6:30 to clock in, start my day job, and work on stuff for Money Boss Mama while trying to keep my kids from killing each other. So I will catch y'all tomorrow. Finally done after like a day and a half because I've been working on this all day, and it's, oh my gosh, it's 4:20 and I started working on them when I woke up. There is a dookie braid in here. There's one that's not the right size, but at this point it's gonna have to do. It's my first time. I will get better. I'll learn how to space these braids out. If y'all do your own braids, please let me know, because I struggled so bad with the spacing. But now I can clean up my dirty home and wash my face, because sadly I have not washed my face, and that's probably why I'm breaking out. But I did brush my teeth. So yeah, just saved myself about $150 doing this. I'm hoping I can get a good week, because they look a lot better than the last braids that I did. So I can actually wear these down, and I'm pretty happy with it. All right, y'all, so I'm about to do something extremely painful but absolutely necessary. I'm gonna kind of like walk y'all through how I do it. So for the past week, what was that, last week when I first started vlogging, I have been eating out a lot more than I should have been. So I'm gonna start from the 18th, which was a Saturday. So I'm gonna track my spending specifically on food from the 18th basically until today. I just put my groceries up from grocery pickup just so I can get by the cent calculation of how much I have been spending on food. And since unfortunately I use some of my personal funds, which is in cash, I'm not going to get that amount. But at least for those transactions that were swiped on my debit card, I'm going to know how much I spent, and I'm going to compare it to what is in my spreadsheet. I have a monthly overview for December that I made, and I know how much I should have spent in personal funds. I did get paid today, which thank God was our third paycheck. So, you know, the premiums and stuff like that did not get taken out. And so I did get a little extra from that, which I'm going to probably need to add that in there too. And then I have my journal, because I like to write down what each account balance is, not for all of my accounts, but the accounts that I have a debit card for and I can swipe for discretionary spending. I feel a child coming. Yes.
I need a brush for my dog.
Don't you have a brush?
No.
All right, so I just did my calculations to see how much extra my third paycheck was, and it is by 141. Now most of this I'm going to put into a sinking fund for childcare, because childcare doesn't stop. It doesn't care if you have a third paycheck month. They're going to need their money, so that's what I'm going to move that to the side for, because in January, if you were a parent and you were getting, you know, the child tax credit advance, we don't know if we're going to get that in January. So I need to make sure that I have the $500+ that I need to pay for after school care and daycare. And now I'm just going to pull up my spreadsheet, and anything that I need to make note of or remember, I'm going to write in my notebook. But like I was saying, I'm going to write down all of the account balances that I have on those accounts that I have access to through a debit card and they're not a savings. And then from there, I know that there's going to be some extra money in there because I just got paid. So I know what goes into each account. And so anything over that amount is extra, and I'm going to need to get to my spreadsheet and see where that extra money goes and compare that to what I actually spent on food. And I know it's going to hurt because, y'all, I have been eating out like a maniac, because I notice when I'm not in a good headspace mentally, I tend to self-soothe through food. I know that about myself, and I tend to set up barriers, especially in my budget, to help with that, to help me not put myself in a shithole when I do go through these moments or periods of just being down mentally. And the past 2 weeks, I would say, since the holiday season started, so like Thanksgiving, I've kind of been like in a funk, and it's probably just things that I am doing. It's like self-inflicted, where I probably need to calm down a little bit, slow down a little bit so I can get myself together. But money management, to me, it's all behavior based. The way that you manage your money, it's all up here. And so if this is not good, the way you manage your money is going to align with your mental state. And you can tell that when you look in your account. So because I've kind of been feeling like icky, the thought of cooking, because I don't like it, is I just wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to do it. I wanted to self-soothe. I like the experience food gives me. And it's like, food doesn't judge me. Food doesn't talk back. Food, it just makes me happy. But that comes with a price. So whatever amount that I spent on food that was over budget, you know, you got to pay the consequences during those times throughout your journey where you do mess up and you do overspend and you do go off budget, and those times are not going to go away. I don't care what some guru has told you, and I don't want anyone to look at me and think that I'm perfect. Girl, I mess up all the time. It's just, you got to go through these ebbs and flows. You're going to have periods where things are not going to go right and your behavior is going to get the best of you, and you're not going to be able to think above your emotions. And that's okay. But hopefully, like, your good times where you're sticking to your plan and you're disciplined and you're consistent, those times should outweigh the bad times. Like, you should have more good times than bad. And so when those good times come, like, girl, run it, leverage those times, because your journey is gonna go like this. Like, I'm up and I'm down. I'm up, then I'm down. But the times that you're up, you should be way up, like way up. Maximize that time so that when you are down, it doesn't take such a huge hit to your financial journey. And so I'm not really too worried about what I overspent on food, besides the effect that it has had on my skin. Y'all, if I eat out too much, this is what happens. This is how I know, like, my body gives me a reminder that, hey, you're not doing me right. You've been eating out too much. Anytime I start to see my skin like that, it's so crazy. I'm like, you need to check your account because you've been eating out too much and it's eating up your personal funds. But anyway, like I was saying, don't be down on yourself if something did not go right or you didn't stick to your budget. It's part of the process. As long as you are living and breathing, as long as you are flesh, you're going to mess up. There's no perfect human being. You're going to mess up, but just know, like, everything that comes up must go down, and everything that goes down is gonna come back up. So kind of just be realistic with yourself. Know how you are at your core. How do you naturally behave, and then set up barriers in your budget. And that could be through buffers, or increasing your personal funds during a certain time of the year if you suffer from seasonal depression or whatever, just to help like offset and absorb some of those times where you do mess up. But just a little word of encouragement, but don't run from it. Like, face the music. I'm probably going to shit myself when I see this number, but awareness is key. And so once you know what you're working with, you can establish a plan to get yourself back on track, because the more you run from it, the worse it's going to get, right? Where is my pen? But anyway, that is what I am about to do right now. All right, y'all. So budget is all balanced. I did all my transfers, but I had to come back on here to tell y'all how much I spent on fast food. This is not including like what I actually paid out of cash, because I don't know how much I paid out of cash for specifically food. I just take out cash for however much I budgeted for that specific paycheck. But in transactions, in the past, from the 18th, oh my gosh, from the 18th till now, which is the 29th, so about 10 days, about a week, a little over a week, $200.40, girl. I was on one. Like, I was tripping. This is just 1 week. Like, I'm not gonna get trapped in that shoulda, woulda, coulda phase, because that was me. I used to beat myself up like, girl, you could have put this in investments or da 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 da. But you know what? I just say I was doing the best that I could with where I was mentally at that time. With my current mental state, I was doing the best I freaking could, and I'm still doing the best that I can. And so that's just where I was at that time. Now I know, I've built awareness, I got my groceries, I made out my list of meals, and I'm going to recover from this. I'm going to, what is the word? Forgive myself. Forgive myself and keep it pushing, because this is what a financial journey is. Up and down, up and down, up and down. This is life. We're full of emotion. But yeah, so let me talk y'all through my plan really quickly of how to recover from this. So $407 was my YouTube pay. I took $160 from that, and I will say the way that I do any extra money that I get like that, I right off the top, 30% goes to taxes, and then 10% goes to tithing. And so really, After that, it doesn't really leave much to work with, and I'll typically just use this for childcare or something. But I decided I was going to take 160 from this. I'm just going to take a little risk and put it towards that amount. So that left me with $40. I got $100 for my mom's boyfriend for Christmas, me and the kids, aka me. So I'm going to take $40 from that and then get back up to that 200. So I kind of lucked out. I really did luck out this time around. But if I didn't have any extra money, I would have just pulled it from my personal funds. I would have just had to thug it out, you know, take accountability for my actions, thug it out. We've got to feel the sting to get ourselves back together, and lowered my personal funds for at least the next 2 paychecks so that I could get it, I could get my accounts back up. But that was the plan on that. It's over and done with, chapter closed. Today's payday, so new beginnings. Loves, today is Thursday and it has been a crazy day, a crazy work day, because my job really knows how to pack on projects back to back. But I'm happy to report that I have not gone anywhere, so I have not spent anything today, and I don't plan on spending anything today because we have food at home. But good thing is that we do get out of the house because today's Thursday. My daughter is going to gymnastics. That is a new expense that I put in my budget, which is $72 a month. And then as she progresses, it gets more and more expensive. Like as she advances out of the beginner's class, it goes up maybe like $20, $30, and then it keeps going up and up. Yes. Where's King? I don't know. He's probably in the room. But anyway, as you can hear, kids are still here, and I have my niece today, so I've got 3 kids today. But I'm kind of excited and ready for gymnastics that starts at 6 because that gives me an hour to do some work. I was probably gonna see if I could drop the other 2 kids, my son and my niece, off at my mom's, but I don't think I'm gonna do that to her. So I think I'm just gonna try to get whatever I can done while at least one kid is busy, and I'll just have to figure out what to do with the other 2. Also, I'm gonna beat myself at my own game today because it's days like these where I'm like, I'm tired, you know, I don't want to cook, I should just pick up a pizza. It's just like a $5 hot and ready, even though they're not $5 anymore. But I'm gonna beat myself at my own game because when I ordered groceries, hi boo.
Hi mom. Can you get my iPad?
Yeah, it's in the room. It's in your room, Tutu.
Oh.
Anyway, I know, let me close this door because anyway, I know that I am not going to want to cook. So when I ordered groceries, I took my behavior into consideration, and I'm like, I'm going to get frozen pizzas and a frozen Alfredo meal, the ones that you put in the skillet or the oven, just for those days where I just don't feel like cooking and I've had a long day, just so I can make sure that I'm still within budget. You know, I'm still eating from home, and I know because of how I am with cooking, I'm going to need something easy for a certain day. So today's the day I'm probably going to put a pizza in the oven or make another skillet meal. But just a little tip for y'all who are like me and you will convince yourself to go buy food elsewhere. Hey my loves, hopefully you guys can see me good. It turned out to be a really cloudy day again. But while I'm on lunch, I'm going to record some reels because I need to get back on Instagram. Almost the new year. It's time to get back to everything. Realigning myself with my vision, my goals, pushing past discomfort and emotion so that I can not hold myself back and really step into my full potential. But like, speaking of New Year's, I was thinking of I like to do a word each year. And so, to be quite honest, I freaking forgot the word for this year right now, but I know that I was living in that word. And I was thinking, like, should I do a word this year? Do I want to do a word this year? And if I do, what word would it be? And then it just kind of hit me like, jump. I want the word for 2022 to be jump. And that is because I always say I feel like life is literally just you jumping off a cliff when it comes to growth. Because oftentimes we try to wait until we're comfortable, and if you try to wait until you're comfortable, you're never going to get it done. Like, and I understand, like, your goals and your vision and your potential are down off of that cliff, and it seems really, really scary, you know, because we're used to how our life is. We're used to being in our comfort zone, but really, what's more scary, like the scarier alternative, I feel like, is you staying on the surface, like with your current reality, like with your current financial situation and everything.
You can make me Sonic.
Yes, baby. Okay, I'm back. But what I was saying is that what's really the scarier alternative is staying on the surface with where you are. And like, growth is not supposed to feel good, you know? Growth is not supposed to feel easy. Growth is supposed to be uncomfortable. And if you're not uncomfortable, then 9 times out of 10, you're not really growing. And so I've just learned through life that life is literally like, you're supposed to be ascending, progressing, you know, growing throughout life. You're not supposed to be the same person that you were every single year. I'm sure like people from my hometown are kind of like, you know, you're not the same or you're different. And they used to bother me, but now I'm just like, well, yeah, like I'm supposed to be different. I'm supposed to grow and evolve. Like, if you're not the same person, like, still like core values and everything are the same, but if I've grown, and by growing I mean like more positive growth, then that's what you're supposed to do in life. Nothing in life stays the same. Who the hell wants to stay the same, you know? Everything in this world grows and evolves, so we should be doing the same thing. But that's a scary thing to do. Growth. And that requires you just jumping off of the cliff. I get so many messages like from y'all, especially on Instagram, that are just like, you know, I've been procrastinating with my financial goals because I'm really just scared, and should I just wait, and I'm trying to wait until I get this or a new job or income increase. Like, girl, just jump. Just do it. If it's scary, like, you'll figure it out along the way. Kind of like anything that's new, something you haven't done before, it's going to feel uncomfortable because you've never done it before. It's new. You literally just jumped off the cliff into doing whatever it was. But if you stay consistent and you stick with it, like, you have to go through this little short period of discomfort to get the long-term gain. And then it becomes second nature. Kind of like with working out. I went to the gym today and freaking died, but that's because I haven't been consistent this past week since I had my kids. But it hurt. It felt like I wanted to freaking quit, but then I had to realize, like, I have to think greater than how I'm feeling so that my feelings don't influence my actions, you know, because if we all let our actions be influenced by our feelings, we're not going to do what we need to do to progress and grow. We're just going to keep ourselves small, and we're going to keep ourselves paralyzed, like trying to overanalyze everything, overthink everything, think that everything has to be perfect, and it doesn't. And I've got to where I am right now because I just jumped off the cliff. I'm like, what do I have to lose? Like, it has to be better than this reality that I'm in right now. And I just want to kind of get back to my roots. Even with like Instagram, following all these rules, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, go on live 5 times a day, post 5 times a day, it got so freaking overwhelming that I had to take a break. And then during my break, I'm like, girl, you never followed the rules. With my debt-free journey, I didn't follow the rules. When I first started Instagram, I didn't follow the rules. And I'm like, you got to where you are by not following the rules, just like being yourself, but staying consistent with whatever method that you used. And so I'm just trying to get back to my core self. And I'm already feeling like more positive about everything because I have some big goals that I want to hit in 2022 that I'm just going to keep between me and God right now. But it's some pretty big goals that are really scary, but I'm just jumping off the cliff. I don't care, you know, I'll figure it out as I go, because if I sit on it for too long, if you sit on something for too long, you're going to talk yourself out of it because your brain wants to keep you safe. Your brain is designed to keep you safe. You have to know that, understand how your brain works, and then set up barriers so that you can beat yourself at your own game. I feel like life is you beating yourself at your own game. Financial, like anything financial, is you beating yourself at your own game. Everyone wants to spend money. No one wants to let their money sit in an account for 30 plus years. You know what I'm saying? We want to spend our money, like we want to live life right now. But you have to beat yourself at your own game. Otherwise, you're just going to let your emotions win, and you're going to wind up making decisions based on how you feel, which is why it's so important to know yourself as you progress on your financial journey, because when you know yourself, you know how to move better. But I am just gonna be jumping off an ass ton of cliffs, and then like you jump off one cliff, you like find your footing, you get stable, and then here comes something new, here comes growth again, and you have to jump off that cliff, and then you're just jumping. But every time you're jumping, you're progressing, like you're growing. And I feel like honestly that is just what life is. It's just like a test against your disbelief. And I got stuff to do, y'all. I got kids, I got goals, I've got to be in my bag, I have got to be stepping into the woman God has created me to be. And it's like my whole perception on life is me fighting to become the woman that I truly believe God sees me as, and I'm just having to see myself as that person. And that requires me to just jump off the cliff and do things and just stop worrying about how other people are going to perceive me, because I know myself. And I feel like if you don't know yourself, it's really easy to be swayed by other people's opinions. And that can keep you paralyzed. Like you're just going to be stuck on the level that they want you to be at. You've got to take control of that. Otherwise, you're letting people dictate your life. And they're not going to want to see you win, you know? No one wants to see you go past their comfort level that they've set. Like the limitation that they've set and put on you. Once you pass that, they're not going to like that. But it's kind of like, who are you living for? You or them? But hopefully I'm making sense. But I really do hope that you are having a really great New Year's. This will probably go up after New Year's, but I just encourage every single one of you to work on stepping into the woman that you know that you have been placed on this earth to be. You have not been placed on this earth to be mediocre. You can literally feel like when you're holding yourself back, when you are not stepping into your full potential, and it's like you only get one life. We're all doing this thing. We're all doing this thing for the first time. And I heard someone say that and it was so profound. It was like, how are you gonna let people tell you about yourself and tell you what you can do if we're all doing life for the first time? No one has been here before. No, like no matter, you know, reincarnation or in this body that you're in this ball of flesh, no one has done this before. We are all figuring it out. We're all living life for the first freaking time, you know? And so you've got to navigate through the world knowing that you got to give yourself grace, but also at the same time, you set your own limitations. And so if you're holding yourself back, I just encourage you to work on that this year, to work on stepping into the woman that you truly feel like you have been called to be, deep down. And that requires you to just jump off the cliff. Stop waiting until you're ready. Just do it. Stop waiting until you get a new job and you have an income increase. Like, just do it. Work with what you have right now, because where you are right now is your starting point. If you don't see it as your starting point, then you're not going to move your feet. Like, you're not going to start. You're just going to stall your progress. You can get to where you need to go with what you have right now if you look for those opportunities in your day to day. But I'm going to wrap up this vlog. Once again, have a safe and happy new year, and I will catch you guys next week.